2.5 million years ago, prehistoric human beings began their existence as scavengers. They were at the bottom of the animal kingdom. Their turn to eat came after the hyenas. But this changed about 70,000 years ago. Man's ability to make fire was the big game changer in the progress of humankind. Later on, they learned to cook, invented the needle to stitch clothes, they built boats, migrated all over the world, and the rest, as they say, is history. But 70,000 years ago, Homo sapiens looked like us. What made scavengers to become masters was not biological evolution, it was social evolution. It was social evolution which made man to refine, augment his skills that differentiated him from animals. We have made progress in all aspects of our human experience over the years. We have made this in the last 50,000 years, not the first 2 million years because of social evolution. But we did stop one area which was part of our progress, part of the progress of our forefathers. That was, we stopped human beings from migrating. We built artificial walls after the advent of this concept called nation states. Nation states, according to Professor Steven Weber from University of California, Berkeley, was an inadvertent byproduct of 15th century map-making technology. According to me, it is a colonial imposition to further a colonial agenda. In this world of globalization, in this world of interdependence, the time has come for us to question the efficacy of this concept called nation state. Emigration, you see, promotes growth, accelerates growth. Immigration can make people climb up the social ladder and become middle class within one generation. Michael A. Clemens has published a very interesting paper called Economics and Immigration, where he says that if there were no restriction for human movement, there would be 50 to 150% growth of GDP in the world. We have inflicted upon ourselves a very costly opportunity cost. And we need to do something to address this. Today, there are only about 200 million people out of a population of 7 billion people on this planet who live outside their country of origin. A Gallup poll, on the other hand, which was made in emerging countries, says that 40% of the people residing in emerging countries would like to emigrate. It is an anomaly we need to address, and we have incentives to address because it has the power to infuse growth. It has the power to increase per capita income. It has the power to change the dynamics of world economy. Now, there is a very good model for us to follow and take the next steps. And that model is the European Union model. 28 countries which form the European Union have signed on to dilute their sovereign powers and come under this umbrella of the European Union and allow the people living in these 28 countries to freely move. What I am proposing is to extend this model for the rest of the world. I would like to call this hyperlooping societies because it expedites growth, it expedites people to become middle class within a generation. I call it hyperlooping. I picked up this word from Elon Musk's famous paper published this month about hyperlooping transportation, where he enables people to travel at the speed of sound between Los Angeles and San Francisco. My plan of hyperlooping societies will try to implement the European Union model to the rest of the countries. We need to have a set of participating countries like the European Union who sign on to the principle of immigration for growth, agree to allow free movement of people between participating nations, allow for dual citizenship, agree to have standardized rules and regulations, rule of law, educational system, healthcare, etc., so that there is comfort, there is stability for people desirous of moving from one country to the other. These countries would sign on to have policies that would ensure the human capital value is enhanced in every way possible, be it restricting marketing access on a quid pro quo basis, allowing the competitive advantages of member countries to be enhanced by giving them preferred market access for their produce, for their goods, for their services. For example, Latin America could focus on agriculture given the natural resources of water and land they have, and they could do it because they have assured market in other participating countries, and they could focus on their productivity, enhance the human capital value, etc. Now there is need for massive investments, and we could attract massive investments on one catalytic matrix, and that is the new demographic dividend. There is an old demographic dividend definition. I call the new demographic dividend predicated on expected GDP growth, expected per capita income growth. And the planning, the funding can be derived from this new demographic dividend. It is done by financial experts in other aspects of fundraising. This is an innovation that needs to be done, and this has all the fundamentals to back it up. Now, we would attract massive investments to accommodate this transformation, this migration of people from high density populated areas to low density areas in the world, and these massive investments would be done naturally by adopting the best of technologies, the best of wisdom which humankind have gained over the last 500 years, so that it is designed to maximize value, improve quality of life. Now there is a need for us to collaborate. Humankind has grown, progressed, evolved because of its ability to imagine things which are not there. We have built dams, we have built bridges, we have sent people to the moon because we could imagine what is not there. Animals could not do it, monkeys could not do it, we can do it. And we should. And to do this, I would like to suggest 3 action points to get this off the ground, to get started. 1, let's galvanize public opinion. Let's have the political leadership of these countries to co-opt this as the agenda. Second, let us have regional bodies like Asia and African Union, Arab League, associations in Latin America to take a prime leadership role to move this agenda forward. Let us now create a body like the European Union for this League of Nations, as I call it, so that that body takes ownership and that body has a rollout plan of this plan of action. There is no time to lose in this. We are paying a huge opportunity cost by delaying this ideal situation. Mankind need not go to Mars to settle colonies. We can revitalize our planet by taking upon this transformational agenda and making it happen. We have seen North America as a continent has changed forever because of migration. USA is what it is today because of migrants. Martin Luther King's speech, I had a dream. It has been 50 years since he said that. Let us have a dream so that humanity are given unfettered right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Let us all be global citizens first, and let us also be the global citizens who celebrate diversity. Thank you.